We quit our jobs, we put all our lives into boxes, said bye-bye to our friends and family and boarded a plane to Anchorage. Flying with us in the belly of the planes were our 2 small motorbikes. Here the adventure starts, with just a loose plan to head south. The next day we got the bikes from customs and started to assemble them. After about half the day we were already ready to ride off. So we got some supplies for our first ride and we headed up north and we were so excited. The first night we camped just outside of Healy at a really nice lake called 8 Mile Lake at the end of Stampede Road. The weather was really nice all day long and the ride along the edge of the Denali National Park was absolutely stunning. At first we were unsure if we were going to ride up the Dalton Highway because we had planned to do the Dempster Highway. But in the end we said let's ride up to Coldfoot at least, which is 400 kilometers north of Fairbanks.
This stretch of road leads up all the way to Dead Horse by the Arctic Ocean. Originally only accessible to haul up equipment to the oil fields, the road is open to the public these days and gets used by lots of motorhomes and hordes of BMW 1200 GSs. The road turned to gravel right after the highway signpost, occasionally being paved and mostly being really good compressed dirt. Rumours are that this road turns into a nightmare when wet, but we had a really smooth ride up the Coldfoot. The vastness up here is breathtaking. After a couple of hours, we passed the Arctic Circle heading north. After hanging out with fellow riders, we spent the night at the free camp spot in Coldfoot. The ride next day back to Fairbanks was long and we had some rain, but we could not get enough of the scenery.
The Denali Highway was first built as an access road to the Denali National Park. Halfway along we went for some apple pie and some cinnamon rolls in the sluice box, which was actually originally a miner's bar. They used to tack their leftover $1 bills to the wall to make sure they still had enough money for some beers for the next month. The rest of the day's ride was through tranquil landscape, disturbed only by the buzzing of our engines and the occasional F-16 breaking the sound barrier. We spent the next 2 days south of Glen Allen, camping by the Clutina River, relaxing, fishing and writing our blog in the laundry room, because of the Wi-Fi there. After our energy was regained, the plan was to visit McCarthy. To get to this old mining town, a day of 200 kilometers of tarmac and over 200 kilometers of gravel lay ahead of us. The first kilometers on tarmac in the fresh morning air went really quickly and soon we arrived in Jitna, which used to be a ghost town until a few years back. The gravel ride to McCarthy was an easy one. Arriving at what felt like at the end of the world, we found a gorgeous view of the Kennecott Glacier an abandoned mine, and even a food truck serving freshly cooked meals. The first veg I think we saw in weeks.